Some of our users, when they finish Form 4, they are yet even to have reading skills. So you can have a reading club, as said. You can have a reading session, like Thursday is a reading session, whereby you can even decide to be reading the Constitution every Thursday as you move from chapter to chapter. You can calculate a reading, culture, and access to various tools like Microsoft Office, maybe Excel or MS Word. And also support them so that they can upgrade their skills in the library, within the library. And we'll see how you can do it. In the industry, integrated content, you source and curate resources to support curriculum co-design. That's what we were told this morning, and I don't want to repeat. Immense content access, the use of augmented reality and virtual reality. Some of us, we have seen some gadgets which the Gen Zs put on their faces. They say they are watching a movie. It is called augmented reality. And we have VR also, the same. Are used especially by engineers when they are doing their design work. So even when it comes to building or constructing, we need these gadgets in the library for the students. Because now we are talking about emerging technologies, and these are some of the technologies we are talking about. AI and assisted services, deploy chatbots, automated system, and accessible tools ethically. Now, in the library, you look at privacy, look at ethical considerations when it comes to using the tools, even for like the computer and any other equipment and platform. Roving and social engagement, engage users through roaming, online platform and social media outreach, marketing and promotion. You find users have come to your library and they are chatting, just to go and sit down and ask them, can I help you? Maybe there is something they are looking for, they are not getting. They look at you, you are busy with a cup of tea. Or unakula mahindi hapo. Or you are chatting with a friend. Or most of the time, or you are on your phone. Yeah. So please, be user-centered. Focus on the user. I come to your library, look at me. When you look at me, you will either, there are two things that comes in. Either I've come to that library to read, and I don't know what I'm looking for, or I know what I'm looking for, but I want your attention to assist me. There are two things involved. We are there? So the first thing when a user comes to the library, be focused. Look at the user. Give that eye contact. I'm here for. Sasa tuseme leo library. Tutaenda wapi? Where will you go? So you need the job. Do the job. And doing the job, you do it with passion. Have passion for your job. Be committed and be dedicated. Roving means any user that you find struggling in the library, you assist, whether it is research, it is reading, it is accessing the internet. Always go to the user. Don't allow the user to come to you. Tuko pamoja? So let's always practice that. Inclusivity and sustainability, sure universal design, sustainability activities. And that's where we come in. Let's say there's an activity going on here in Nyeri and in the community. As the library, also focus on how you can input into that activity through the students. The moment you write a proposal, the principal will be very happy because if it is about printing t-shirts, you can be facilitated. You are helping the community. You are creating awareness. If the students have come up with a project and they feel like they want to implement somewhere, be the first person to step out of your comfort zone and market that product. We are together? Okay. So in summary, when we look at a glance, you find that digital libraries, this is the trending area these days when you talk about TVET libraries, school libraries, special libraries, government libraries, and any other library you know. Digital libraries. People are moving to cloud computing services, which we look at in the afternoon. Library management systems, which are user-centered, and also online repositories, like using this space to archive research papers, projects for students, notes, trainer notes, all that. TVET support, competency learning, competency-based learning resources. It's not no longer about acquiring anything that is in the market, but looking at what do the institution require? What is the user needs for the students in TVET? In this module 1, what do they require? Do they require print or online? If it is online, do they require YouTube videos or any other kind of resource? For example, if I'm doing welding, I'll not come and require a resource like reading in a book. A book? Why should I read a book? I'll want a video showing me how to do welding better. Bulbs. How to connect bulbs if I'm doing wiring. How can I wire a house? So drawings, plumbing, hands-on. It's about hands-on resources. It's not about the physical resources we know. So as we move slowly, and as the institution moves, and as the world moves, we go for reality. It's no longer about perceiving what we want, but do require in our institution. Now my question is, write down, what do my library users require? Thus, look at the students, look at the trainers, and look at yourself. What do? That question will provide the answer in the afternoon as we end this first session of TVET Librarians. Technology integration. As we move forward, now we have AI when it comes to examination and some of the resources. So we are looking forward to government also implementing and supporting procurement of VR equipment, augmented reality equipment, and also use of chatbots to help students mostly in the engineering departments. Makerspace and information. The library is a recreational facility, and therefore you need space for students to do their practical work or practical session. Even a discussion room at the corner. This is the library, and there is a discussion room where students can project their project and discuss about that project and how they are coming out with a solution if there is a challenge in terms of a project, or they are looking forward to solving a problem within the society. The library should provide a space and provide entrepreneurship support, the way we heard from Boma. So those are the things which are very important. Accessibility, assistive technology and inclusive content. And also staff development, digital and information literacy training, industry collaboration, curricular support, job market resources. The librarian should always be at the shows. Nyeri agricultural show. There is agriculture. So the librarian should be there to collect all those publications which are there, both online and physical, and also stations, or let's say farmers, on how you can relate to them to get the content that they have, so that you provide for your students in the library. You don't need the principal to do that. It is your job as the librarian. Do the marketing, do your PR properly, and you'll get those resources even in soft copy. The other one is data-driven services. You should also provide analytics and also performance tracking when it comes to the library. The usage statistics, how many people access Research for Life, how many students, what do you need in order for you to market that service, which area is being researched mostly by the students, how can you encourage the students to research maybe mostly in plumbing and not in electrical engineering. So you also have to do a bit of data and provide data-driven services. Green and sustainable libraries, as we had, let's make our libraries beautiful, create a conducive environment for the students and also for the trainers. And also, as we create that environment, make sure also you are presentable, you are reachable, and flexible. You are there? So when we talk about professional development of library staff, this is professional development, empowering TVET librarians through professional development. So this one now focuses on the admin side and also on you. There should be what's called continuous development, continuous professional development training, provision of CPD so that you can move to the next level. You don't get stagnated in one level. The other one is workshops and certification. Workshops is hands-on. Certification is whereby you are certified that you can do APCD. And KLA is holding the second certification this August on RDA, resource description and access, because they have been training librarians on RDA for the past 2 years. And now it's time for them to get an exam and get certified. When you go for interview, you are pocket that certification that you are RDA compliant. You can work on it. In professional network and research activities, ensuring industry trends and evolving labor market needs, and collaboration with educators to align resources with curriculum demands. Some of us, we don't know even what TVET is, and that's the truth. Outside there. But outside there, we know more than those who are inside. So what do? Exchange ideas. Do knowledge exchange with your colleagues from the other TVET institutions, TTI, even from Kenya Library Association. Ask them, come and train us more on this. We need more to know about this. Skilling of librarians to meet the modern demands. Here, it's about training, it's about participation, also certification. For you to stand up and say, I'm a librarian, you should be able to prove and have evidence that you are a real librarian. Are we together? Clap once. Are we something? Tuko pamoja? The people at the back. The people who look engaged. Okay. So when we talk about TVET, TVETA, TTI, all those, we are talking about technical. We are still talking about trainings. That's why you have a spanner there. You have a pen. You have something like settings. Setting. So I hope now we are doing a little bit of settings. True or false? Okay, when we go through, we can go through about digital transformation, and that I know you know about digital transformations that we are working on at the moment, and your institutions are working on, and even us in our institution, we are working on transformation, digital transformation, both for the library and in any other field. It's about digitization of collections, which we focused in the morning, about online resources. Let's not only focus on what is subscribed. We have quite a number of online resources which you can group, categorize, and provide to your users. And we look at it in the afternoon. Enhance services. Also, there is recommendation to enhance your services, because I had some librarians what they do. Please learn to know what you are doing. And if you don't know what you are doing, Kenya Library Association is always there for you. Kuuliza si? So, unafanya nini? Unauliza, si ngumu kuuliza. Uliza useme, sasa mimi ni librarian, hata nilipata hii certificate na sijui hata nafanyanga nini. Nikikuta asubuhi nasikia kichwa yauma, hata hii vitabu nikiona inanipatia stress kidogo. What do I do to come out of it? Okay? Or yes, it's like, I chose the wrong profession. What can I do to change my profession? Come to the Kenya Library Association. We'll pull you out of there and make you a better person. Because librarianship is not only about books or about e-resources. It's also about communication. It's also about you yourself and also your presentation. Are we there? Yeah. We have quite a number of people who are librarians. We have vice chancellors. We have MPs. We have senators. Quite a number. And they are doing very well in there where they are working. If they come from your constituency, they work better. Mine, I know. Brighton works very hard and is a smart and all-rounded. And we look even forward to doing good things for him to move forward. Why? Because a librarian is an all-rounded person. Impact of digital transformation, increase accessibility to resources, improved efficiency when it comes to services in the library, and also access to services by the students 24/7, enhance user experience, especially when it comes to searching the online resources. You find that when you go to Google, Google gives you everything. So you want a library system that is better than Google, so that your users can be able to search and get an enhanced user experience, which is more satisfying. Preservation of cultural heritage. Digitization helps preserve valuable materials for future generations. And you know, in TVET libraries, we have cultural materials, especially when you go to the shows for the counties. You get cultural materials. Please, digitize them, preserve them for the next generation. Long life learning. If you are happy, clap twice. Thank you. It awakes you. We know we have challenges, and we look at it in the afternoon. And we have emerging technologies, which we have talked about, and we'll focus on that. Now, about integration of the emerging technologies, that is digital libraries. We come up with digital libraries and repositories. The first place, if you don't have a library system, is to use MX Access. MX Access, Microsoft Access. You come up with a database which you can use to archive your resources. And you want to know the know-how, talk to Wilson. He's the registrar, and he will assist you. We will assist you to come up with one. It's only about a 1 hour thing, and you have a good resource. But I know as TVET you can come up with a repository whereby all the TVET libraries can share, and it will be economical. AI-powered services, now you are using AI. So that's also another integration which really provides real-time reference and information queries. Students can query the data using AI. How many have used the Gemini? Google Assistant? Weka mkono juu. Sasa ukiweka nusu unajua uchatumia. Just when I mention, leave your hand. And if I mention something you have never used, put it down. Google Assistant, ChatGPT, Gemini. We are there. You know these things. Only putting it practically. And our students use ChatGPT to answer the assignments. They don't go reading, looking for books in the library. They just go there and then they say, which book is in the library? He comes to the library, or she gets all the books which are in that section, copy them and put them as references. Are we there? Now you know how they go about it. And then they bring that project to your library, to the librarian. They bring it back to you. That after getting a B+ or an A, back to the library. Ask the librarian, get the references and see, is it true or false? Are we there? From there, we will help the student and help the institution. So we are there. Yeah. The other thing is virtual reality and augmented reality. Offer immersive technical training. It offers training, technical training simulations. We talk about driving a car, and how many institutions have VR equipment? Library. Sometimes it is taken to the IT department. So you should claim that VR equipment into the library. In most institutions, like academic libraries and research centers, they use it as a mental relaxing tool, whereby when you sit down, you create another world outside there. You relax your system. You watch with the VR equipment, and you create another world outside there. So those are the things you'll come to learn in practical if you get an institution which is using it. And these tools support interactive learning in fields like engineering, construction. So you find that they are very useful when it comes to our students. Makerspace and 3D printing. That one we have discussed about it. We have the learning management systems, which we talked about this morning by the morning facilitator. Data analytic tools, use library data to support student progress tracking, usage trends, and decision making. If I come and say, I want to know John, if John borrows books from the library, you should be able to tell me, John borrows books in the library in this area, maybe plumbing and engineering. So at least the system will be keeping record, so that if there is a new item in the library which has been acquired, an alert is sent to John automatically by the system that this book is available for you. That's what is called user-centered services. Access to emerging database, technical databases, provide curated content, for example, artificial intelligence. We have Internet of Things. IoT means Internet of Things. And Internet of Things, it's like the use of radio frequency identification security system, RFID, in terms of safeguarding the library resources from illegal removal from the library. We have robotics. For example, we have universities who have employed robotics in terms of circulation services, and also circulation desk assistants. Blockchain technology, the connectivity of the library database to the self-service workstation, and also to the circulation desk, and to the library portal, where users can search for content within the library. They can make a request to borrow or access online e-books. That's the use of blockchain. Cyber security. Now that security matters in the library, you are also the gatekeeper, and make sure that the system is guarded against viruses, against even students themselves. You know, all humans are enemies when it comes to IT. You might use it the wrong way or the right way. So as a librarian, you are a gatekeeper, and also many more when it comes to access to emerging databases. Help users stay informed about the industry. We had Web 4.0 and smart technologies and needs. Smart technologies. Some people can buy a smartphone. I can buy a smartphone and I don't know how to use. In our place, if you have a smartphone, the first place you go to, or any employee goes to, is the library. My librarian, niko na iPhone. Hii kitu newspaper, how can I access with my iPhone? But I don't have an iPhone. But you do what is called troubleshooting to assist the user access the e-paper. Are we there? So don't say, I don't know. Say, let me try. And then you try. After all, when you fail, it doesn't mean you fail. You have tried and you have learned something. Collaboration with industry and training institution. This one, the libraries also should collaborate in various ways, and I've talked about how they can do it. In terms of skill, curriculum development, the librarians also should be included when it comes to curriculum update. You should know what is going on. Don't stay in the library and say, I'm a librarian. Go outside there. Take yourself. Don't wait to be called. Say, you forgot me. You said you are going where? I'm here. Make yourself be present. Don't be told, we went. Where were you? I heard what was being said in the morning by the State Department. You don't know these things. You have not been taken through. And you are saying, yes. Take yourself. Make yourself present. When will you be present? When you are 20, you are 20. When you are 30, you are 30. The moment you become 50, you are gone. Are we there? So when will you be present? And say, I am here. Who wants to pray for us? Who wants to, I have a mandasi, who wants to eat a mandasi? Or say, yes, I want that mandasi, but to give it to my friend. Okay? So always be present and have what's called workplace readiness. All this is about what we have discussed, and on e-resources, we'll discuss it in the afternoon, and the slides will be shared to you. Now about data-driven decision-making, use of analytics and usage tracking. We have talked about how you can track a user and how you can track how a resource is being used in the library. Most of us, we subscribe to, let's say, Research for Life. If I ask you how many users have accessed that resource this month, how many will tell me? How many users? You can tell us. A bush out from there. You have used yourself. No, I'm saying how many users in your library have accessed Research for Life from 1st June to 30th June. How many? Statistics. You are talking about statistics. That's what you should keep in the library. You should be keeping statistics on how many students access your library and from which department and what do they access. What do they access? Do they access ebooks, physical, or they come to sit in the library and do WhatsApp, TikTok, chat, X? Are we there? Oh yeah. Also, you with the statistics, you are able to support evidence-based teaching and also learning analytics. Okay. Let's talk about green libraries and sustainability as we saw it in the morning. Some of these words are very big. Somebody say climate change, green libraries, and then you're like, that's a very big elephant. But you can do it small and grow from there. Are we there? The good thing is you operate within the counties. So you find that you get access to soil. Soil in Nairobi you can't get, you have to buy. You get access to quite a number of things. So you can make your library a better place. Also, you can host sustainability awareness campaigns in the library. You bring about students and talk about a given topic. Also, promote green technologies and practices. That's where I said and say, if you are, if there is a project that the students have come up with, like say solar and powering tool or something like that, be the first one to promote the students, to create awareness. Your job is to create awareness. This exists. There is a student who has done APCD. You can even play a notice board. Everybody will know. And you have created awareness. Encourage reuse, cycling, and eco-literacy among students. What the Poma college is doing. So when you look at the SDGs, you find that there is the library action, the SDG, and the library action. There is quality education supported by SDG 4. We have affordable clean energy, SDG 7. Sustainable cities and communities. We have responsible consumption and production and climate action. Most awareness programs, sustainability programs. That's what you can do it within the library. What you need is just permission. And then you just get a cup of tea, put the students together and move on. So that's all for now. I'll not ask for questions, but I will take it back to the MC. Thank you.
Asante, tumpigie makofi. Asante sana Bi Christine. Mabadiliko ya kidijitali na pia masuala ibuka ambayo yanaweza kutukumba sisi kama wakutubi, na najua tumejifunza mambo mengi. Kwa hivyo ikiwa kuna swali lako, tafadhali weza kuliandika chini, tutakuwa na wakati wa kuchukua swali. Hivi sasa ningependa tuweze kualika wasilisho la 3, na si mwingine bali ni mwenyekiti Profesa Gatiti, mwenyekiti wa muungano wa kutubi Kenya, ambaye ataweza kuja pia kuwasilisha baadhi ya wasilisho ambalo wako nalo. Kwa hivyo maswali yote, tutakuwa na kitengo mida ya saa 8, kitengo cha kuhakikisha kwamba tunachukua maswali yote, mapendekezo yote. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri uweze kuandika swali lako chini, alafu utaweza kuendelea. Najua wasifu wake ni mkubwa, kwa hivyo ningeomba mwenyewe tu atajitambulisha, kwa sababu najua wasifu wake ni mkubwa na tajriba yake ni kubwa katika masuala ya ukutubi. Kwa hivyo tumpigie makofi anapo jiunga nasi Profesa Peter Gatiti, ambaye pia ni mwenyekiti wa muungano wa kutubi nchini Kenya. Karibu bwana Profesa.
Asante. So kwa niaba ya all librarians, all of you, because I represent all of you, Kambucha wametutesa ya kutosha. kile Kiswahili ambacho anazungumuza anafanya wengine wetu tuangalie. Wakati tulikuwa pale kwa mtihani ya form 4, hata Kienjo mwenye akiongea Kiswahili inashikana na Kimeru, hata ujui kwa namna gani, hata pia ameteseka. Inaonekana tutapata kikao wakati mmoja ambacho Kabucho atatufundisha mambo ya jinsi ya kuongea Kiswahili sanifu haswa katika wana maktaba. Asante sana Kabucho, umetuwakilisha vizuri sana. So pamoja na hayo, Kabucho asked me to introduce myself. So in a simple way, my name is Peter. Peter is a humble son of the village and a villager. Kwa hivyo nikiongea Kizungu senye the accent list, msiniulize swali mbona naitwa professor na ninaongea nikishramp. To even qualify more, Peter studied bachelor's degree in library science from Loughborough University in the UK. Siapigiwe makofi jameni. You are president masters in information systems from Leeds University. You are president standard PhD in information systems from the University of Bolton in the UK. Apigiwe makofi. Your president worked in the UK for 10 years up to the rank of a senior librarian, managing a team of 10 British. Apigiwe makofi. Your president is a fellow of the University of Alberta, Western University, and a fellow of Harvard Graduate School of Education. Apigiwe makofi. But in terms of accent, he is a villager. Ama namna gani? Sawa. So why did I say those qualifications? Not to brag, but to dispel the notion that a librarian is an average person. He is not. Where I work, I confer degrees. You cannot get a degree if the academic procession is not there. Key among them, the university librarian. Sawa. So tafadhali, you know, I felt a bit sad this morning when I heard from the State Department that someone has gone to the library only once. And that can only mean our libraries are not very welcoming. Ama namna gani? Kwa hivyo ningependa kualika wakati mnatembea Nairobi jameni, nipigie simu, na hata kama siko nitapanga mpango ya mtu apange apate kualika mje munitembelee. In my library wenye wanakuwa wanasomea hapo, students and faculty, if 2 days passes kama mtu hajakuja kwa library anaona kama kuna kitu amekosea, because it's a very welcoming library. So let us take that as a challenge. Then we build. There's someone who said their passion is building libraries. Let us develop appealing libraries. Because it's very frustrating to have a commodity that nobody wants. Ama namna gani? Si ukienda hata kwa soko kutema maboga ameka hapo na hakuna hata unauliza bei. Si hata afadhali uulize bei hata kama ununui. I felt sad. I would hate to be a librarian in a library that nobody wants to come. And those who happen to come, they would not like to sit because the seats are not comfortable. Ukienda kwa shelf kuchukua kitabu ni vumbi tupu. Na saa hiyo hata nimevaa shati ya pink. Ama namna gani? So I felt it, to be honest. I felt it when she said she has been to the libraries only twice, and that is someone representing the State Department. And you know what? She was just being honest, isn't it? So with that, allow me not to speak too much. Professors are known to talk for long, but I will take maybe only 20 minutes because a lot has been said in terms of the truth. And then how those trends are trickling to us as librarians. So instead of me going back to the trends, I will just have an overview of competencies which are expected of us as librarians. Then after that, after lunch, I will briefly, very briefly, take you through guidelines and standards for librarians so that we can know what is expected of us. Then after that, in the afternoon, we shall have a hands-on exercise or activity where as a team, under my guidance, we shall work to come up with what we would say are information resources for TVET libraries. Sio ni sawa? Sawa sawa. Hii nimeandikiwa hiyo si yangu, nimesoma yangu, nimeambiwa niseme all librarians to send M-Pesa code to Mr. Moshiri ili wapate receipt. Nimeandikiwa. Sawa. So, allow me to just reflect on how our role has evolved, and the key thing changing our role is technological advancements and changes affecting the sector. TVET. Simwasikia TVET. So, and I undertook a rapid review. That's why it is written Gatiti 2025. It's not yet published. It will be published after 2 months after this interaction with you. So the key thing is we have many types of reviews, colleagues. We have a type of review called systematic review, which is up there, and another type called scoping review. Systematic review takes a very high level of evidence, followed by scoping, but a rapid review is a good review that you can take within 2 hours or one day in order to still get something. So I undertook a rapid review to find out globally, when people talk of TVET librarians, what kind of competencies are expected of us. Tuko pamoja. The type of reviews that exist, because we have also narrative reviews. Si Professor akiongea anasema awakumbusha kidogo. And we have literature review, critical review. In total, there are 14 types of reviews. We call them topology of reviews. If you want to dig further, there is a paper written by Booth and Grant, Maria Grant and Booth, topology of reviews. There are 14. However, I took a review, paid review, and I identified 5 core competencies for librarians, TVET librarians. And then those competencies are further broken into components. So before I show you my findings, I would like you by a show of hand. And the first hand will be of Lilian Gisesa, na sisemi kwa nini. Hiyo ingine itakuwa Patricia Chembeti. Sijui ni kwa nini, lakini nimesema Moshiri yake itakuwa juu, Kambujo itakuwa juu. Kuna our librarian from Nairobi Technical itakuwa juu. My brother from Kaznem, mkono itakuwa juu. Akienju, mkono itakuwa juu. Just tell me one competency that you perceive to be very important for a TVET librarian, Patricia.
Trained. A librarian, a competency, a basic competency should be a degree or a diploma in librarianship.
So let us delink the qualification, but competency, the skill that they should uphold.
I'm just trying to think of quickly, maybe information seeking.
Information skill seeking or literacy skill. Sawa sawa. Let us appreciate Patricia. Akienjo, you are my student. And I mentored you, ndio? Tuambie maneno. Kamoja tu. Najua uko na mingi kwa akili.
Good communication skills is one. All customer care skills.
Tafadhali apigiwe makofi. You know, we get concerned sometimes when people come seeking for internship or for jobs. And Akejo knows me very well. Mimi huwa sikubali barua umeniletea na kupeleka pahali na kuambia andika barua uniombe kazi. Oh, our students have the first paragraph. Sasa hata nimeondoa ana simu, ana laptop. Hii inakuwa ngumu. So what Akejo is talking about are soft skills. Ama namna gani? Communication, you are able to write a letter, smile, greet a customer. Sindio Akejo? Good, good. My brother from Kasneb, please share with
problem solving skills.
Very good. Solving complex skills. Hautaki if this place starts leaking, unakimbia kwa Dr. Mwangi kumwambia nini. Kabla ufike huko, si at least utafute solution ili ukienda pale umwambie it is leaking. I've already discussed with our mechanical engineering department and we are of the view that, sir, we can do MPCD at a cost of 20K. So then Dr. Mwangi asks you, oh, so you want me to approve 20K? Yes. Unasonga. Lakini kikiwa kila siku kila shinda ndogo napeleka bila suluhisho, hiyo sio mzuri. Namna gani? My sister.
Digital competencies.
Sio iko sawa? Kila kitu ni digital, ndio? Sawa.
I'll talk of information literacy skills, ability to help students locate information.
Information literacy, information competency skills. I think we are all aligned, ndio? Now, those skills are not new to us, are not unique to us. They are the global skills which are expected of TVET librarians. So my finding grouped them into 5. Key among them, digital and information literacy. Please note that we talk of information literacy, but now we are qualifying it with digital. So that when you teach people how to interact with information resources, we are expected also to know how to use digital tools to access those resources. Then the next one is instructional support. What that means is a faculty member will come and tell you our curriculum has changed. Sasa haitakiwi uulize mtu mwalimu ni vitambo gani unataka tutumie. You should now look at the changes in the curriculum, do some groundwork investigations to provide them with suggestions on what to change. Because it is frustrating, to be honest. Some faculty will give you books which they were taught with 20 years ago. Ama namna gani? And there is something I may ask you. I am predominantly a health sciences librarian. Would you feel comfortable if you are having a surgical problem and someone wants to operate with you on you using knowledge acquired from books published 30 years ago? It can be very uncomfortable, isn't it? So for medical field, we go for 5 years. Really, mambo inabadilika haraka sana namna gani? So similarly, because of the kind of people we are training, instructional support, let us see how best we can get the best resources for them based on their needs. Our technical person, tafadhali, ninakutazama sana, jina kani kisonga, nikae pale pamoja kama preacher. Hapa hivi Hapo ni sawa? Sawa. Haya, hiyo ingine ni technical and systems proficiency. A good number of people, like Patricia, at one point she was a systems librarian, technical librarian, digital skills librarian. There are librarians known as repository librarians. So technical skills are very important for TVET. The other one is soft skills, which are what Akienju was talking about, education skills and those other kind of skills, and the professional leadership. That being the case, you can imagine a situation whereby you are a librarian and you don't attend any meeting which is for non-librarians. So then in such an institution, even if people are asked about the role of the librarian, they'll be clueless. Ama namna gani? So other than the chief librarian who might sit in management meetings, we have got other cadre of leadership levels within the institution. So let us also try to find our way in those. And then professional association meetings and leadership. Like my sister there from Meru, I'm forgetting her name. Tumekutana mara mingi sana. Ama namna gani? Sasa jamani, kama kazi imetokea pale Aga Khan, nikute ndiye Kinjo na amekuja. Sinaona ana watu wengi. Sasa hii mambo ya network, ukisikia your network is your network, inasanga namna hii. Juu kuna watu hapa naangalia na wanaona hapa fulani. Ama namna gani? Na hata kuna kijana mmoja pale atujaongea amenistua sana, ameng'ara zaidi. Sema amen. Good. That will be the future president of the association. Yeah. So colleagues, I mentioned digital and information literacy. Attributes include digital collections, OER. What is OER? Open education resources. Sawa. Teaching. The keyword there is teaching. How many among us have a teaching qualification? Mukono juu. Very good. I think it's something we can start a short course on teaching in information literacy skills or whatever, because we have what it takes. Promoting digital equity. What it means, if you are the chief librarian of Nyeri National Polytechnic na umepata mwanafunzi kutoka Kanyuambora na kuasaliwa huyo mwanafunzi hajawahi kuona laptop, tafadhali keti na yeye na usije ukamsomea mbele wengine, unamuita pole, unamwambia mambo iko namna hii, alafu anaenda. Sawa. Huyo tunawapata Aga Khan. Kuna kamoja nilipatia laptop akalia machozi because it was her first time to interact with a laptop. Haya. So you have to be inclusive in terms of your services. Hiyo ingine ni supporting e-learning platforms. That came up, LMS. If you hear an institution like Kiambu National Polytechnic is using Moodle as their learning management system, then you are expected to develop your information literacy within Moodle and then pick electronic resources where the lecturers put their courses, go and embed those electronic resources within those courses for ease of access by the students. And by the way, I'm not telling you anything that I have not done. Ukisikia nasema hivyo hata ukiniuliza inafanywa namna gani, I will go take you to RMS, to even where we have embedded, na kuambia mambo iko namna hiyo. Hapa namna gani? Sawa. So, because we talked of information literacy and people keep on talking about information literacy, allow me to just discuss with you the types of information literacy training. Key among them, kenye mnapenda sana ka orientation, kuzunguza watu kama mbuzi. Unawaambia, now in the library we don't make noise. Okay, yes. This is second test. Okay, yeah. Okay, sawa. Ni sawa tu. Someone has to do it. Amana mwana gani? Okay, tukimaliza orientation, hiyo ingine unawaambia, now let me show you the OPAC. Kitambo wenye ni wase kidogo tulikuwa tunaenda tunafanya kwa vidole hivi, lakini siku hizi kumekuanga na kompyuta imeandikwa OPAC. Lakini a good OPAC, you don't need to go to the library. You can also be able to access it seamlessly from the comfort of your computer. Amana mwana gani? Ukimaliza sasa unaambia OPAC, unaambia even if you want to know more about our services, you can go to our intranet. Sawa. Hapo tuko sawa. It is important pia mnagusa mambo ya copyright, because I don't want to mention institutions, but if you Google, there is an institution, is one of the top 3 affluent private institutions which was 2 months ago sued by one of the publishers because of issues to do with copyright infringement. So what happens in if an institution, and God forbid, like Kabarak University is sued, the Vice Chancellor will come and ask at the CHMPET, where were you? Why did you not advise us? Tuko pamoja? So that where were you can only be answered through developing elaborate copyright, plagiarism, intellectual properties, patents, to take them through so that you are able to say, as a library, we have done this. When you walienda wakafanya hivyo, tujue what went wrong. But besides training, you make them understand you are a go-to person in case they have got an item that they are not sure about the copyright obligation. They come to the library and you check for them, because we have what it takes. And in a institution where you don't have the capacity, and enumerate one of the colleagues, and someone would always bail you out. Haya, citing bibliographic references. Sio sana. Okay. By show of hands, what reference management systems? Kwa vile umesema ni rahisi, are you aware of reference management system? Mikono kila ni wangapi wameokoka? Wa kwanza tuone. Zotero. Where are you from? Boma, Yeah, I can hear the accent is a bit polished. Yes, my brother from Kasnep. Medri, wow. Si mnasikia venye kizungu kinatoka. Akienje tuko kwa shinda Aya. Ingine gani? Yes, please. Refworks. Thank you. Na ingine gani? EndNote. So refworks and the EndNote are what we call proprietary, meaning you part with, you enroll us to get. Yenye unapata bure ni Zotero and Medri. But the expectations of librarians is we teach people how to use them. Now, it's getting very sweet. And how you get to know it's getting sweet is when you see people writing, taking some notes. If I was to use EndNote, Zotero, Medri, Refworks, what citation styles would I be training my people to use? Mkono juu tafadhali, tuone umeokoka. Wewe tayari umeokoka, tutafute wengine sasa. Wewe Kabucho umeokoka. Jameni, niwaambie moja inaitwa Harvard citation style, Harvard. Sasa singine haraka. Yes, APA. Who uses APA most of the time? Not engineers. Akienje ulisahau. The social scientists, psychologists, nurses, thank you. Aya ingine haraka. Chicago, na sio ile basketball, it's a referencing style kwa Chicago. Ingine madaktari tumia Vancouver. Atigani? Vancouver. So then it means if someone comes to you, utaambia tu Zotero, lazima uambie there exist many referencing styles. Now, one of I said librarians should sit in management. Someone like Moshiri is supposed to advise Nyeri National Polytechnic that either a department or the entire Polytechnic should get an official citation style, so that if I am marking academic writing, it cannot be the work of Kabucho, I'm a cite using APA. Nikishika ya Patricia ni Chicago, ya Kienje ni Harvard. Then how would you be able to guide the students? But it should be uniform, especially per department. Hiyo ni sawa? Okay. Tuingie hiyo ingine, using electronic resources. Hiyo ni sana. Which kind of electronic resources should you show people how to use them? For example, an electronic database. Mimi nimesema EBSCO, tuendelee. Mwingine? My friend, tuko wengi. Umesikia badala aseme Elsevier, amesema Elsevier. Yeah, right on. Spot on. Tuko wengi. Mwingine? Research for life is tool that helps us to get it. But yes, in a way it is. Yeah, Hinari, Ore, Ingine, database. Gerard Francis, ingine Emerald. Kwanza Emerald ni ya librarians. Kwa hivyo as a librarian, if you are searching for information, your tool is Emerald. Ingine from this table. Kimeumana? Hapo Google Scholar, thank you. It's zero. Yeah, it's zero. Ingine EBSCO, yeah. Hiyo nilikuwa nimesema. Hapa hakuna meokoka. Elsevier. Agora. Brilliant. So you teach them, you not only list the electronic databases, but yourself you go and get something you call search string. Then you teach them how to construct meaningful searches using Boolean operators to get results. And how to remove the duplicates, and after that how to do academic writing. Now, nimetumia jina Boolean operator. Hapa nani Boolean operator? Sijua? Good. Sio sana. We have Boolean and Boolean or Boolean. How we use them is for another session. Organized by KLA. Sawa? Haya, hiyo ingine ni critical reading and interpretation. How to read and interpret. Na hiyo critical reading is not for everyone, so I will ask Kabuche to write it somewhere, so towards the end of my presentation, I will show you how to get out of that quagmire. Sawa. Then reference management hiyo tulisema. Haya. Instruction and curriculum support. Hiyo tulisema mnaketi na maprofesa na other people muna discuss curriculum mapping, aligning your resources to the curriculum. Instruction design support. That one is a very lucrative for those Gen Z young librarians who are looking for positions which are very paying. Instruction design is the way to go. Wanalipwa pesa mingi hata atoshereki. People with instruction design wanakunja hata wakituitiza 300,000 afadhali tukavuje benki tupatie wao hiyo. Hatuwatoshi nyingi sana. If you take a short course of even instruction design, unakunja kazi kwa mingi, sawa? Hiyo ingine ni teaching and learning facilitation, learning resource management, hizo siko sawa. Assessment and feedback integration. How many among you do know what tool do we use for anti-plagiarism? Turn it in and brilliant. So what happens with those systems, that's why it is written feedback integration. You try to put them on your system so that the students, we don't use plagiarism as a tool to catch them, but we teach them anti-plagiarism so that in case they copy people's work before submitting, they put it in, check. If the similarity is about 20, they reorganize their work, giving you a tool that I will give it to at the end of the session, and then reorganize it until now it is acceptable. Also the faculty. Hiyo ingine ya mwisho ni instructional technical integration. So, technical and systems. Our systems librarian is here. Now, ability to effectively use, manage, troubleshoot variety of digital tools. Let me tell you something. If you want to be frustrated, and I know a number of you are, mwanze itambia atika kitu kandogo, watu wa IT ndio watakuja wasoti. Utaumia. Mtu wa IT kama anaitwa finance department na library ni wapi atakimbia? Na akiitwa na HR ataenda finance ama HR? Na akiitwa na principal Dr. Mwangi kambra ufikiwe umengedia. Most of the library systems that we use, IT people are curious about them. I am a person, so I'm saying that because I know what happens. They'll never say, I don't understand this thing or it calling Koha or on this space. Watakupeleka hivi na hivi. So what you do, you get further knowledge about it through attending conferences like the ones organized by KLA or KRISK, and through belonging to the communities of practice of other systems librarian. Tuko pamoja. Otherwise, you'll be forever treated. However, there is also a catch. When you are a chief librarian, like Mr. Moshiri, one of the most frustrating things is to manage a systems librarian like Cherono, Christine. Because they come there speaking in jargon, and you are a clueless, and you are their manager, they make you look bad. So what do? You must run technology colleagues, ili wakati uko chief librarian, system librarian, mwambia kuletea report, akikupeleka hivyo na mwambia hapana, mambo inafaa iwe namna gani? Haya. Hiyo tumemaliza. Soft skills. Akiejo. Si unajua ulikuja kwangu, simu ilikuwa inapigwa unaanza kutoroka. Ukiona mzungu, muhindi unafikiria ni mzungu. By the time you ambani ulikuwa sawa, si ndio? Haya. Communication, hiyo tumesema. Customer service tumesema. Emotional intelligence. Simu unajua ni gani? You know the politicians who don't have emotional intelligence? Na mnajua the 1% that has emotional intelligence. Juni wachache in politics. Haya. Collaboration, relationship building. That is what we are doing today. Ama namna gani? Advocacy outreach. That is what KRA has come here to do. And please, msiwe mnachukia KRA sana, mkifikiria sasa hawa watu. KRA ni nyinyi. This is your profession. You have to be proud to belong. You've seen the engineer says, I'm an engineer. I'm a chartered accountant. Why not say I'm a chartered librarian? Yeah? Wengine instructional facilitation. Yote tumemaliza. Leadership, professional development. So, she talked about CPDs. I don't know whether Nyeri is in this room. The framework is such that for the training that we provide as KLA, there is some CPD give you. Tuko pamoja. So if you go for an interview, someone asks you, which professional activities have you been involved with? 0. Mwingine anachomoa 5. Saskeksa, Ifra, K. Unajua story inaisianga hapo. Alafu utasema nimeonewa. Haya. So from strategic and visionary thinking, that one I taught in Mombasa last time. Institutional leadership, operational team leadership, all the way to adaptive leadership. Hata nikale Harvard kenye nilihusisha watu Machakos wakafurahia sana lakini hiyo yote dawa tuko nayo. Facilities are there. Tuko pamoja. Lakini tukitana conference jameni mpaka mwenyewe mmenistua. Nikifika hapa nilifikiria nitapata tu watu hapa Nyeri, Mukurweini, Tetu, watu wa Nyeri waitangi Tetu nitango Tetu. Niambiwe wewe ndio wananyahuru. Nikute Murang'a kaishia hapo. Ndugu zangu mmenishangaza. And I discussed that with Dr. Mwangi. We are very humbled. And that shows there is a need for this kind of a thing. Wengine sijui Bomet, kuna wengine Turukana. Nikienda Mombasa kuna pahali napitianga, nikifika hapo najuanga niko karibu kufika. Panaitwa Taita Taveta. Kuna mtu nimesikia akisema huko nikashangaa. Watu wa TVET leo mmenishangaza. Let us appreciate ourselves. This demonstrates this kind of training initiative, building consensus, networking is important, and we are going to continue working with my team, with the leadership of Kati, to ensure per year we have this kind of things 2 to 3 times. Ama namna gani? Hata saa zingine KLA tuna organize training inakuwa ni ya TVET peke yao. Na bandara ya kunja pa kwa Mbalindi, sisters wetu tunaweza pia kwenda Mombasa. Na pia Dubai. Ama namna gani? Sawa. From benchmarking, Yeah, sawa. Na tukitaka pesa, Central Bank iko. Ama namna gani? Tukitaka insurance, kuna mtu wa insurance nisikia. What else do you want in life? Maisha noma? Noma ya. That is Christine Cherono's favorite song. Sitasema kwa nini. We are online na nimeongea mambo mbaya. Sawa. Sijasema hivyo. Okay, wenye wako online. Anyway, practical application. Si tumeongea mambo ya competencies zinazokuwa 5. So, scholarly communication, this is ways in which institutions are interacting with information resources, which they advance for scholarly output. Scholarly output because when you teach, the resources you are using have been developed by scholars from California, from London School of Economics, but then as your scholars, they can also develop some, isn't it? So the notion of teaching them and showing them where to publish and seeing their work so that you can share it with global world is called scholarly communication. One way of achieving that is through developing repositories, where you capture scholars' work and keep it so that the rest of the world can be able to share it with them. You are advocates for open access resources, open access publishing, copyright compliance, and measuring impact of research. The field of measuring impact for research is a very rich field. Young librarians, what do we call that field of measuring research impact? Nani ameokoka katika hiyo? Have you ever heard of something we call bibliometric analysis? Mwenye sikia hiyo mkono juu, bibliometric analysis. So, bibliometric analysis is study whereby we investigate pattern of authorship of scholars using quantitative measures. It was started by a gentleman who is a librarian, more famous than Duodecimo. His name is Eugene Garfield. Sawa. Similarly to bibliometric analysis is a field we call cytometric analysis, where we also look at that pattern, but going beyond bibliometric because we go for large patterns of what we call meta-analysis. These terminologies are important. Msio mnastudia na maengineer na watu wa mechanical because hata sisi tunapata tunakuwa na vocabulary kumbwa hapa namna gani. And that's why in the world of people like Christine who are catalogers, they will say we no longer call ourselves catalogers, but we do what we call metadata. Ama namna gani? Data about data. Meta data librarian, not cataloging librarian. Metadata librarian. Tuko pamoja. Kama mimi si unasikia mimi ni university librarian, lakini kama nito university mbona nito nini hapo mbele? Associate vice provost. Sio ile ya kuhumbiri. Provost is the chief academic officer. Kwa hivyo it means I'm the chief academic officer for libraries. Ama mna gani? So, hizi terminologies, so nimewaambia bibliometrics analysis, cytometric analysis, na hiyo imekuja katika mambo ya scholarly communication. Tuko sawa? Na remember mambo ya research ni systematic reviews, scoping reviews, rapid reviews, critical reviews, literature reviews, tukingine narrative reviews. Okay. Hiyo repository hiyo sitaongea, hiyo tumesema. I will be sharing the notes, lakini sawa tuandika. So a repository brings together holdings of a given institution. For example, as of last night, Aga Khan University, which I represent, our repository, we are having almost 5 million downloads, meaning the scholars of the world who are interacting with our work are almost 5 million. That gives visibility to your institution so that you are able to go and apply for funding. So to me, this is my single most contribution to the university because I'm having a portal where we capture all of their scientific output, share with the world, and be able to get funding. And when we get that funding, we are able to buy books and databases zenye nasikia amuna, si ndio? Sawa. I do not go to the link. However, let us assume you want to know the total holding, or you are studying for masters and your topic is information literacy, impact of information literacy in TVET institutions. So what you do, other than using Emerald and other places, you can also check whether information of that type has been researched, so that you can have a wide range of resources. the places you can check is COA, COE.ac.uk. Tuko pamoja? Simumpige makofi kwa hiyo COA. Let us assume you want to check dissertations which have been published on that area. Why check? Is because if I am researching on information literacy impact in TVET, if another institution in Germany, France, UK, they have done similar study, it helps me to go and check their research method, not copying their work. There is nothing as frustrating as writing a proposal, unafika kwa professor na kuambia this will take you to, lakini kama umeangalia similar research, what research designs did they use? Sinakuwa rahisi. Na hiyo ingine inaitangwa Kenya National Repository Search of CRISC, which is a gift that I gave CRISC when I used to be the chairman of CRISC ICT committee. Nikawapatia hiyo kama zawadi. Sini zawadi mzuri. Sawa sawa. Now that I mentioned the research, na mimi sitaitikia kutoka hapa watu waniambiange they are not good researchers. Si librarians are researchers? So kabla niweke mic chini kwa vile tumesema sisi wote ni researchers. Na professor amesimama mbele yenu. What you do when you are doing research, I'm saying that because the people you are teaching, some are doing masters, wengine wanafanya PhD. Na watakuja wapi? Kwa library. Ama namna gani? So when you are doing research, you look at research using something we call a lens. Angalia mimi. So that philosophical lens can only be 3. Ati ni ngapi? 3. Sawa sawa. Moja ni wale watu tunawaitanga positivists. Tumesema positivists. Na wakati wanaangalia wewe kwa kanjicho, wakifika kwa the research method, yenye mnasema methodology of research, it will be quantitative. It will be quantitative. Na wakifika data collection, watatumia survey ama questionnaire. Survey ama questionnaire. Mpaka hapa tuko pamoja. Je, wakifika analysis, watatumia tool gani? SPSS. Tuko pamoja. Those are positivists. Pande ile ingine ni wenye wanaitangwa qualitative researchers. Kama librarians are very good in qualitative research, hizi mastori mingi. So kale karenzi wanaangalia na kanaitwa interpretism. Interpretism. Ukumbuke the name interpretism is not the way I'm pronouncing it because me am Mukerenya. Mukerenyaga mwenye accent ilikataa kuisha because venye tulisomeshwa primary Sarandi 1 to Sarandi 3 tulifundishwa kwa Kikuyu. You can imagine ile Kikuyu nafundishwa nayo sio Kikuyu ya Murang'a ama ya Nyeri, ni Kikuyu ya Kirinyaga yenye it has got syllables which are very different. What they talk is not the way it's written. Sasa kambura hapo nifike Sarandi 4 nikafundishwa na Kiswahili but most of the time ni kuchunwa. Kisungu nilisikia nikiwa 5. Alafu nitoke hapo niende secondary. Sawa? Sini kujaribu. So interpretism, the way I'm pronouncing it, it's not the way it is written. Na hiyo I indicate that I'm a village, kwa hivyo hiyo mtanielewa. So their philosophical lens ndio hiyo, research method qualitative, ndio. Wakienda data correction wanatumia nini? Interviews. Tuko pamoja. Na wakienda analysis watatumia in vivo. Sasa ukianza kuja pale ulianza sijui quanti, tukifika analysis unaniambia in vivo, nakwambia wewe toka na hiyo karatasi yako toka. Haya, pale katikati kuna watu wanaitangwa mixed researchers wenye wako hapa na wako pale. So their currents inaitangwa pragmatism, their pragmatism. Sawa? Then mixed, na wakiwa mixed ni kumaanisha wako na quantitative na qualitative. If they are having qual, sawa, inaitwa not exploration but exponential, but if they have got quan is exploration. Tuko pamoja? Na wakitaka sote sio pamoja, we call it convenience, convergence. Sawa. Hiyo ni research nimegusa kwa sababu kuna wengine kati yenu wanafanya masters ama wanahudumia masters. Sijui as I got to change the slide, Kabucho can tell us masters degree inaitwa nini kwa Kiswahili?
Asante. Kwa hivyo akiendelea, masters degree kuna shahada ya uzamifu na PhD shahada ya uzamili.
Shahada ya na niliambiwa na Kabucho, najua Kabucho ni mtu mzuri lakini saa zingine unidanganya. Ati director wa library ati ni mkutumbi wote. Mwandamizi. Ama ulisema nini? Uliniambia mimi ni mkutumbi mwandamizi. Ama ulisema nini?
Anaweza kuwa mkurugenzi wa idara ya maktaba na pia anaweza kuwa mkutubi mwandamizi.
Sasa sisi ni wakutumbi waandamizi. Sawa sawa. Haya, open access hiyo tulimaliza, sawa? But nilikuwa nataka Kambura Kabicho atundanganye tunjue open access, tuko na Directory of Open Access Journals known as Ndowanji. Tuko sawa? Directory of Open Access Books current Ndowambu. Haya, African Journals Online current Anjolo. Then sijui kama nimeandika Hinari pale, Hinari, Angora, Oare, Hardy, hizo ni databases and research for life. Tulipewa kama zawadi na the late Secretary General of United Nations mwenye alikuwa ametoka Ghana, mwenye alikuja kutupatanisha wakati ya handshake, alikuwa anaitwa Kofi Annan. Akasema people from the Grumpo South are dying due to lack of access to information. And you know, access to information is a human right. You are aware, eh? So when you deny people information, you are denying them what? Their rights. Sawa. Haya, ya mwisho nayo ni DATAB, Bioline and COA. Nilikuwa nimemention. So those are open access resources. Now there is a challenge. Na hiyo itakuwa ngumu pande yenu, lakini tutaongea zaidi saa 8. Sasa umeenda pale, umeenda hizo resources, ukifika hapa hizi they can give you over 1 million. What do you do with that? Hautapelekea watu 1 million resources, ndio? So you have to group them according to what is relevant for the subjects that are being taught in your TVET. Ama namna gani? That action of grouping them together cannot be done by lecturers or faculty. Can only be done by, and it is called curating. So those are some of the skills. Curating, curating. Sawa. Open educational resources, hapo sitagusa, paliguswa asubuhi wakati tuliambiwa to rent. Si ndio? However, kenye nitagusa kidogo ni library guide. Assuming I am teaching engineering, within engineering kuna hiyo sasa ni subject, lakini kuna course kama 5 to 6, si ndio? So per course you pick, then working with your lecturer you pick required books, additional reading. Required means these 5 you must use them in order to pass. But if you want to pass with good grades, in addition you can read these ones. Hiyo ni kazi ya librarian. But utafanya namna gani na utaandika hizo vitu alafu weke kwa drawer? You use softwares, key among them a software called LibGuide, which cost only $1,000. And I believe we might also be able to get one LibGuide software for the entire range of TVET. So LibGuide. Tuko pamoja? If you don't use LibGuide, which is preparatory, meaning you pay, there is a free tool called Subject Plus. And the institution that I know that uses Subject Plus is actually Strathmore University. Subject Plus. But the one which is proprietary is called LibGuide. If you want to see good examples of guides, I've given you Aga Khan University Library Guides as a good example. Sawa sawa? Okay. resource discovery, let me not get there. But remember I talked about 1 million resources you can get. How do you discover them? Using a single tool you use, and discovery tool. Key among them, EBSCO Discovery Service, Salmon, people who are giants of doing things for open access, kuna ingine itwa Viewfind. Sawa sawa. All those exist, and in Google custom search. Kama kare ka search nilikuonyesha ka Kirisk repositories for Kenya, ako tulitumia Google custom. Sawa sawa. Na ukisahau unaniandikia email na kukumbusha how to use it. Hiyo kwanza ya Google custom search, if you start working on it now, within 30 minutes you'll be having a tool. It's very, very easy. It is easy to an extent. When I was ndiridari in Kakunda at Harvard University, they are using it. I was very comfortable with it. Very, very easy to use. Resources, EFIL. Hiyo ni sawa. Hata watu wa Kirisk wako hapa and they can tell you EFIL ni watu wazuri.